Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Potato Panda TV here today, and this is my weekly Magic the Gathering video for my Potato Panda TV vlogs channel. So, what I got this week is that I made this about a week ago, or a little over a week ago, and I've been just kind of slightly fine tuning it over the last week or so, but I decided to make a red or a green white commander deck, and I guess I don't really know exactly why I decided to make it green white. I guess part of it was because I had seen that I had this creature that I could use as a commander, and mostly for the second part of it, where it says whenever a wolf enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 3 life, and that creature fights up to one target creature you don't control. So it's basically when I first started putting this set together, I noticed that I had a lot of wolf cards, and so I thought I'd be able to use a lot of the wolf cards that I had in my collection. But as I was kind of getting the deck set together and put all together and everything, I noticed that I didn't have, a lot of the wolf cards I thought I had were a lot of them were like duplicate cards. So I only ended up having, I think, a total of 6 wolves out of this whole deck. So I mean, it's still definitely, if you could happen to get all 6 wolves when you're playing a game, you could get up to an extra 18 life, so that could always help out. But I guess, like I said, I didn't have as many wolves as I thought or usable wolves as I thought I did. But yeah, so it's like, I guess that's kind of enough introduction to that. And I know a lot of people, because I have green and blue sleeves, and I know sometimes, I don't know if that's always kind of a no-no in some areas of Magic where you're supposed to always use the same color sleeves for every card, but I didn't have the 99, or I have a bunch of sleeves at the time, but I didn't have the 99 of the same one color and then the one different for the commander, so I had to use 2 different colors because I didn't feel like spending the extra $10 or whatever to buy 100 sleeves. So I guess that's just kind of how it ended up working out. But and then those cards I was just going through are just my basic land cards, so I didn't really feel the need to just kind of go through all those one by one. But these are some of my more, I guess, non-basic lands. So it's just basically stuff like you add a white mana, and it goes untapped if you control 3 or more planes. When he enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature. And then you got this one enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a planes. You tap, you add a mana. 2 colorless and 2 white mana. You tap, you create a 1/1 white human creature token. And you got the gingerbread cabin. And with that one, he enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 3 or more other forests. When he enters the battlefield untapped, create. When he enters the battlefield untapped, create a food token. And then Gateway Plaza enters the battlefield tapped. When Gateway enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you pay 1 colorless. If you tap, you add 1 mana of any color. So these first couple are just kind of non-basic lands. There's not really anything too much to them. You mainly added them so I could use them for their mana or adding mana. So that's basically what these 2 are, just add mana cards. And I got some added for my artifacts, and add 1 tap and then add 1 mana. You tap and add a red or a white or a green mana. And tap, add mana of any color. I hope I tried looking through this as much as possible, so I'm hoping I don't have any doubles or anything in the set, or on the deck, so I'm hoping. Multicolored creatures you control get a +1/+1. Tap, add 1 mana of any color or 5 colors you tap. You tap and then tap target creature. So I guess that's mainly, would only be mostly for if you going up against a fairly large, or a creature with a lot of attack power to it. Or I guess, or a lot of toughness. Enters the battlefield, choose a color. Creatures you control the chosen color get +1/+1, 1 mana. Add 1 mana of the chosen color. When Golden Egg enters the battlefield, draw a card. With 1 colorless, tap, sacrifice Golden Egg, add 1 mana of any color. When tap 2 colorless, sacrifice it, you gain 3 life. And then tap, add, or you got 2 mana, add 1 mana of any color. And then these are just some of my multi-colored creatures and instants and whatnot. The green, you tap creature you control, gain trample until end of turn. 5 colors on a white creature. Create a 2/2 white elf knight creature token. Whenever it taps, let's see, Light of Champion. Let's see, I know there was, you may tap any number of untapped creatures you control. And Censure Peacewalker. Censure Peacewalker enters the battlefield. Each player gains 4 life. So that could be a benefit me, but it benefits everybody, or all the other players in the game. So it's kind of. I guess if you're low on mana or low on life, it helps out, but it's kind of an iffy card. When it dies, create 2 green and white elf knight creature tokens with vigilance. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. You gain 1 life for each creature you control. Ironroot Warlord. Warlord's power is equal to the number of creatures you control. Create 1, if you got 3 colorless and then 1 white, 1 green. You create a 1/1 white soldier token. And then each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. So it's all that, and let's see, I guess we'll go through. I guess it doesn't really matter that much, but I guess I ended up with more green than white, but I guess it doesn't really matter too much. So let's see. I know, like I said, I think I have a total of 6 wolves in here, but I'll try to pull them out as I find them. Return target creature. This is a Pulse of Murasa. Return target creature or land card from a graveyard to its owner's hand. You gain 6 life. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. You gain 3 life. So I guess a lot of these ones I put in here are life gain, or as far as like the instants and sorceries are got a lot of ones that add some life. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Preserve all damage that would be dealt to creature this turn. Creatures you control gain hexproof until end of turn. They can't be targets or spells or abilities your opponent control. I guess it's always nice to have hex proof. Oh, there's a wolf. So I'll say that enchantment creature gains 7/7 and has trample. Convoke hexproof. I think I did that because he's got a fairly high, or it means high mana, but he's got a high toughness and a bit or power. Convoke you. Let's see, has convoke and hexproof. This can't be targeted. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. And there's another wolf and another wolf. And I got this one just mainly because it's got death touch. And then tap and add mana of any one color. When this guy enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. And this dude deals 5 damage to target creature with flying. Create a food token. And then trample when thundering. Ceratoke enters the battlefield. Other creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. Yes, and then I think this. Oh, never mind. I thought this was a high power guy, but I guess not. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on this dude. So that could become helpful. And then tap and add 1 mana of any color. And Beanstalk Giant. Search your library for, if I'd use a sorcery adventure, for a search basic land and then put it under the battlefield, then shuffle the library. Berserk Giant's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. So I guess I did that just mainly because if there ever a time where I get a bunch of land out and where it's near the end of the game when you have a bunch of land out, it could become helpful. This spell costs 2 less to cast if an opponent controls a green permanent. He has death touch. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And we got another wolf, and then he's at reach. When this dude enters the battlefield, you may put a land card from your hand into the battlefield. And then, of course, I've said in previous videos, I kind of like the dinosaur card, so that's another reason why I kind of tried finding a bunch of dinosaur cards. And rage, whenever Ravenous Dagger Mouth has dealt damage, you gain 2 life. Trample, this creature is dealt excess combat damage to the player. Yeah. Then this guy's hex proof, so he can't be targeted. Then we got another wolf. And then I think I put this one in there just because he's got the big power and toughness. So I figure it's good to have a couple guys with a lot of power and toughness. And then when Vigor Spore Worm enters the battlefield, target creature gains vigilance and gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. And he can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. So if you, that's pretty good. Especially if you're, could be useful. And then I gotta use this one because he's got death touch too. And then this one you can tap and add mana. So I think I got all my wolf cards. So got a total of, that's what I thought, 6 different wolf cards. So that was one with where my Commander, you got 3+3 life, or you gain 3 life for every wolf that entered the battlefield. And then can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. And trample, when he enters the battlefield, create a food token. When Ferocious Pup enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 green wolf token. When Wicked Wolf enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Sacrifice a food, put +1/+1 counter on Wicked Wolf. It gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. And then flash, other wolves and werewolves you control get +1/+1 at the beginning of your end step. If you didn't cast a spell's turn, create a 2/2 green wolf token. And then I thought there was something in here where I think it was in the white card, or these white cards I have. It had something to do with Dynasty, give some type of special ability to. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I just knocked over my tripod, so I'm sorry about that. Kind of sucks having that happen right in the middle of the video. Gonna apologize for that. But again, I was saying I think I put the dinosaurs in there, or had some dinosaurs in there, because I think there was something in those white cards that gave them dinosaurs some ability, but maybe not. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains flying. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. If you cast a spell during your main phase, put +1/+1 counter each of those creatures, and they gain vigilance until end of turn. Double strike. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 4/4 black zombie warrior creature with vigilance. When God Eternal Okatera dies or is put in exile from the battlefield, you may put it into the owner's library, 3rd from the top. And then destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. You gain 1 life for each attacking creature you control. Tap all creatures your opponent control. Creatures you control gain life link until end of turn. Destroy target creatures with power 4 or greater. I guess that's difference of power. One had power and one had toughness. When Loxodon Sergeant enters the battlefield, other creatures you control gain vigilance until end of turn. My camera's just decided it wants to go sideways. Sorry, I'm having some issues today. But I guess that is what it is, or it happens. We got flying. And then whenever you gain life, put +1/+1 counter on this dude. When this Loxodon life enters the battlefield, you may have your life total become the total toughness of creatures you control. When Charming Prince enters the battlefield, choose 1 Scary 2. You gain 3 life. Exile another target creature you own. Return it to the battlefield under your control in the beginning of the next turn, or next step. When Dwarven Priest enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life for each creature you control. When Archangel enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life for each gate you control. When Civic Stalwart enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Enchantment creature, when Pios Interdiction enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life. Enchanted creature can't attack or block. And then when Bull enters the battlefield, you gain 5 life. So that's it for my green, white commander deck. And feel free, like I said, this is something I've only created about a week ago, and this is the first commander deck I've kind of created without really anybody helping me out put it together. So I know it's probably got a lot of work to go, but feel free to let me know what you think about it in the comments section down below. But appreciate you stopping by, and I'll catch you next time.